Welcome to the channel. I have 5 questions that will demonstrate how powerful Desmos is. It can solve so many hard questions you will never believe, and this will save you during the SAT. Are you ready? Let's get to it. First question. This is a hard SAT question, right? You have a quadratic equation in the form of 2r s squared 5s plus 3r is equal to 0. They're confusing you. Don't worry about it. If the quadratic equation above has one red solution, then RS is equal to what? 160. What is R plus X? That's all. Absolute value. Look, you know how to solve this. First, you got to do this manually to figure out what are the factors. What is that? Based on what they've given you, you can see if this is a red solution, then B squared minus 4AC is equal to what? 0. Your B is 5S. Your A is 2R. Your C is what? 8R. So you put it there, and then you have what? 5S squared 4 2R 8R. This is going to give you 25 S squared is equal to 64 R squared. As you can see, you can simplify this. You get what? 5S is equivalent to what? 8R plus or minus. But I want you to use the 25 S squared is equal to 64 R squared. And they've given you that what? R is equal to 160. Now, let's get to Desmos. What Desmos can do for you. All you need to do is to grab those two equations. We know 25 S squared. But before that, I want you to know that in order to get the answer quickly, Desmos get confused. He will give you a slider if you use S and R. So let's make what? One of them S as Y and then R as X in the form of normal quadratic equation. Therefore, we're going to have 25y squared, which is equal to 64 S squared. Like a usual one that Desmos can see. You see, graph it for you and they intersect at 0, 0. But we've been told that what? RS is equal to 160. Desmos does not understand. You got to define RS. So I'm going to use the same variable I use, S and Y. And boom, they all intersect at what? 10, 16. The question is asking you, what is R plus X? R, which we know, right? X, which we know. R is our S, is our X, and S is our Y. Therefore, 10 plus 16 will give you 26. The right answer is 26. This is what Desmos can do for you. This question is a little bit tricky, but we'll get it done. This is the function. The function is defined as what? AS squared plus BCX plus C. A, B, and C are constant. The graph of y, f of x in the s-plane passes through what? 70 minus 30. If a is an integer greater than 1, which of the following could be a plus b? It's the same thing. All you need to do is go to Desmos and say, can you graph this for me? Please graph this. AS squared, the normal way, plus bx plus c. This is a normal quadratic equation. You know, those functions Desmos does not know, so we want you to have a slider. For this one, forget about it. But then we're going to use regression, right? We're going to use regression to do this. They told you that what? F of what? 7 and f of 3 minus 3, the regression sign is equivalent to what? 0 and 0. So this is what they told us. But you can see that we're getting A is equal to 0, C is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. Yeah, we got to define. They give us something. If you look here, you say A is an integer. That's why we get a slider to figure out what we're going to define those variables. Where I'm going to tell the system A is greater than 1. And therefore, A is 2, B is what? Minus 8, and then C is minus 42. If you add A plus B, the answer choice is minus 6. You see how you can solve the question easily using Desmos. How to use table, right? You have this table giving X and Y. For the linear function f, the table shows 3 values of what? X and Y. in the form of what? F of x. The function is defined by what? Ax plus b. This is what? A normal linear equation. What is a and b? A and b are constant. What is a minus b? Same thing. So based on what they've given you, all you need to do is to plot those values. Click on the plus sign and then table, and then put your values there. 1, 2, 3. Equivalent to what? Minus 64, 0, 64. And then you see the regression sign, plot it, and you have what? Y is equal to x, 64x minus what? 128. Based on what they've given you, you can tell what is A is based on the function f of x is equal to what? Ax plus b. That means our A is 64 and then our B is minus 28. And therefore, you can calculate the difference between A minus B. Our A is 64 and our B is minus 28. A minus B is 64 minus 128. And you can solve it. Straightforward equation using Desmos. Now, the fourth one is a little bit complex, but you know how to do it. You don't have to worry. The expression 2x squared plus px plus 8 minus 16x into bracket p plus 4, and p is constant. This expression is equivalent. Whenever they say equivalent, look, you can plot this by equating them and making one of them y. That's all. So what I'm going to tell Desmos is a long equation. You can use regression, or you can just plot each and then see where they intersect. Regression is fine, and then you can see where they intersect. The same thing. So what I would do is I would say, look, y is equal to what? So I put in my value, and then I put in my value, and then it asks me for a slider. So we're going to add p as a slider, but we don't know. Then because the expression are equivalent, you put the second one. You say y is the same thing, is equal to what? 6x squared 55x plus 24. So you have two lines, and you can see, if you open it, you can see two equations. You want to know where they can intersect, or they will become one. One is different colors, green and different colors, as you can see. Move P so that the two graph intersect, and you see only one color. And as you go slowly, and you pass 7, you don't see anything anymore. If I pass 7, I'm seeing green. If I go to 7 exactly, or 6.1, I lose it. The 7 exactly. And how do you know? Take the green out, you get a one color. You take another one, but if I put the green there, it's there. If I put the other color there, it's there. So these are equivalent. P is what? 7. One is very important. They can give you a word problem where you can translate it into a form that Desmos will understand. They said three consecutive even integers are ordered from smallest to the largest. 5 times the first integer is at least 9 more than the sum of the second and the third. What is the minimum possible value for the second integer? A very hard one, but you can solve it. First of all, you know that there's 3 integers. So the next one will be x plus 2 because they are even. The next one will be x plus 4, right? But then translate. They're telling you what? 5x, that's the normal initial integer, is what? Greater than or equal to more. 5 times the first integer is at least 9 more. So 9, right? Greater than the sum of the second. X plus what? 2 plus x plus 4. You close the bracket. And this is what you have. You see the thick line? That is 5. It's passing through the line 5, as you can see. This is the line 5. But look at it. It said it's greater than or equal to. Therefore, this will be anything above. But remember, they said the numbers are what? Even integers. So if you have 5, what should be the least integer that you can pick above 5 is 6. Therefore, your first choice is 6. If you mix this, you're going to get a question wrong. But then they're asking you What is the minimum possible value for the second integer? The second integer is x plus 2. The 6 is the x plus 2, and therefore this gives you 8. This is the way you solve these questions. This is Desmos in demonstration of how you can solve a bunch of SAT questions. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more content like that. Take care of yourself.